I have a necklace in this bag and I haven't looked at it for months. I paid $1 for it. What am I going to do with it? What do I have to work with? I think I bought it because I like the color. It's really pretty. It has different shades of coral. I don't remember these beads. Look at these little beads. Very unusual. I like the vintage brass beads. And every single one is linked. And it looks like I have a big tassel here. In fact, as I'm looking at this, I'm not even sure what I've got here. Let's get this untangled. It's got a bunch of knots in it. Oh, I see. What I have here is a lariat type of necklace. And it's really, really long. I'll show you here. I can weave this back and forth about 3 times until we get to the tassels. I have to tell you, it's quite pretty just like it is. Do I dare take it apart and make something new with it? Do I? I think the coral color is so beautiful, like in this rose. Carpet coral rose. There are so many pretty flowers here. There's a coral rose bush. Those are pretty. And do you see some of these colors in the necklace? Some of the coral and the lighter shades here. How about in this rose? It even has some yellow in it. There are so many things that can inspire us. Whether it's jewelry or nature, it's a beautiful color. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. I'm still thinking on it. Tell me what you see. Do you see a necklace or do you see beads? Do you see a vintage necklace or do you see potential? Or do you see a necklace that I should leave well enough alone and just wear it as it is? But that's not what this channel is about. Hi everyone, I'm Vicki with Avante Jewelry, and I upcycle vintage jewelry into new pieces of jewelry, and I like to start with things like this. Today I'm going to start with this necklace and take it apart and see what we can come up with for something new. There's so much to work with. You know, I see the beads, I see the little components, I see the tassels too, although those would be quite long for earrings. Not sure what I'm going to do today, and the beads are just plastic, and every section of these could just become earrings. They could. They could. I don't work with just vintage jewelry. I often mix in some other items. And I have these little swirl components with a hole at each end. I'm going to see if I can work these in somehow. They have kind of an antique brass finish. I also have some antique brass ear wires, so let's get a few of those out just to have those on hand. And I might need a lobster clasp if we make a bracelet. And then I'm going to need a jump ring. I'm still taking it in, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. But the first thing is I think I'll remove the tassels. Let's start there. And if I'm a little mellow today, well, it's the day after 4th of July, and I'm feeling just a little bit tired. But at the same time, I thought, you know what? I haven't made a video for a while on jewelry. So I came in here and cleaned up my area, and this is what I pulled out to work with. I think sometimes we tend to overthink it. We think we have to drastically change something to make it into something new. And that's not always the case. Sometimes we can just keep it really simple and work with what we have and not overthink it. So right now I have a lobster clasp on here. And I can see the alternating pattern here. We have this coral kind of round, looks like a rose actually. I'm just looking at the pattern and I'm trying to figure out where I want to work in this to make it interesting. I could work it in right where the little round bead is. You know, bracelets are only so long. If we make a 7-inch bracelet, right here's the center. So it's not like we have a lot of beads that are going to end up on either end. Where do I want to put this? I want to work it in somewhere. And that just seems to fall as the center of the bracelet. Let's take this apart right here. Taking this off for now. I'm going to slip the little swirl onto this bead. I could use a jump ring here, but I'm going to try to do it without a jump ring. I'm going to try. I never know. Really, truly never know if it's going to work. Let's put this end. Oop, it's slipping down in on me. Put this end on here and close that up. So that definitely gave it a different look from this. And as I said, that's about our center point of a 7-inch bracelet, give or take. I'm going to take this end off. Of course, by the time we put it around a bracelet cone, it could be longer or shorter. You never know. Close this up. That looks pretty tiny, doesn't it? I can see that it's going to be too short as I have it. So I'm taking a look at what I want to add on to this end. No one says that you have to have each end of the bracelet exactly the same, but I'm not really interested in using this thing. I'm not sure it would feel very good on the bottom of the wrist. So I'm taking a look here. I think I'm going to take it apart right here. Just opening the loop to the side. Oh, I got to take this off. Interesting little doodad. Seeing a little bit of corrosion on here, so I'm going to eliminate this due to the corrosion. I'm going to add one bead here, close it up, and I'm going to go ahead and go back to the other end and add some beads, at least one, maybe two. Opening up the jump ring opposite of each other. We're going to set this aside. Let's look at this here. Let's look at it from this direction. It needs a couple more beads. I think this one's supposed to look like coral. The only thing I don't have on this side are these little chip stones. So I'm trying to work in some chip stones over here. I think I'm going to take it apart here, close this up, and then I'm going to open up for the little chip stones. You can see I'm using some little tiny pointed flat nose pliers for this. A lot easier to work with than round nose. Again, open up the loop sideways. Attach it here. And let's take a look at it. To me, that looks pretty even. Let's put the clasp back on. I'm going to go on either end, close it up, wiggle it past each other a little bit if you have to, and give it a pinch, make sure it's closed. And then we need a jump ring on the other end to connect the lobster clasp to. Okay, there's our bracelet. Let's take a look at it, see what size we have here. It's at 7.5, and actually that's a very good size. That's probably the most popular size that I sell. So now we've made one 7.5-inch bracelet and changed it up a little bit with this swirl. Could make some earrings to go with this. How about if we make a pair of earrings to go with this? And if I look at all the beads here, I like this color, I like this bead and this bead a lot. This one's okay. These little doodads are just kind of unusual. And if you see here, I could have an earring made from here. I could have an earring made from here. I think I'm going to go with this here. I'll show you here. It's going to be very easy to make. I'm going to take that off, put an ear wire on here, close it up, just open up this one, take this off, and I do like to close these up as I go. Now, we have one earring. It doesn't have anything to the bottom. I mean, we could attach a swirl, but then we have the hole at the bottom of this. So maybe I should put this in between. Let's do that. Work that in here somehow. Just have to open this up. I'm just opening up the little loop sideways, attaching the little swirly thing. Get a hold of it, close it up. Next, I open up the loop on the little stones here and connect it to the hole at the other end of the little swirly thing, because you know, it's a thing. So there we go. One earring down. Let's make another one, because you know, it's not a pair of earrings if we don't have two. So I need to find the same part right here, separate the chain, add the ear wire, close it up. That's why I like these so much. I do have a link for those in the description below the video. All right, we need to get these two parts loose, close it up, take the time to do that. Then we need to separate these. Now we have a cool pair of earrings to go with the bracelet. See how easy that was? It didn't take long to make. I've worked with the components pretty much as they are. I only rearranged a few. And then I added this little swirl connector. So project number 1, done, check. Let's make something else. I have some brass chain, again, like an antique brass color. I'm going to go ahead and put it around my bracelet cone. I'm planning on making another bracelet that's about 7.5 inches. And I need to allow for the clasp. So I think I'm going to take it apart right here. And yes, I know there are bracelet making bead boards and I have them, but what fun is that? Ooh, that is some super, super heavy chain. I can't begin to tell you how stiff that was. There's no way to relay that to you, but that is some thick chain. It's going to take all my effort to put that back together. And while we're here, let's go ahead and attach the lobster clasp to one end. I wish I had a larger one, but I don't. It's just what I have. I have a small one. And let's attach a small loop to the other end. Just open it sideways, crossways, and attach it here. So we have something to attach the lobster clasp to. So there's our link chain bracelet. Back to our components here. I think I'm going to take, change tools. I'm going to go ahead and take apart some beads so that I have some single beads. And I'm going to close each one up as I do it. Let's get some more. We need more. I might be able to use some of those little doodads and that one. And I have this piece here that I can take apart. I have some jump rings here. I don't know if you saw them laying here. We're going to go ahead and open one up. Let's find the center point of our bracelet. I'm going to take this crazy little thing that I haven't used yet and put it kind of in the center. I'm going to choose this as being my center. The thing with putting beads onto chain bracelets is that they tend to roll. I'm going to try to put them on the same side, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to lay this out so that these rings here are facing the same direction. It's going to move around while I'm working with it. For sure, it's going to move around. I need to take apart some more. You know what I don't have worked in here are these little coral ones. I forgot to show you my ring, my jump ring opener. I like this thing. I should have got it out sooner. I'm going to now work to the left, and I'm going to repeat the same pattern. Okay, we're going to work on another brass one, little brass filigree ball. All right, I need some more jump rings. Let's add one of these coral rose type beads. May not be rose, but that's what I'm calling it. Are we there yet, or should we add some more? I think we need some more. And we sure have plenty to work with, so why not? And the thing, as I said, with these kind of beaded bracelets, they just kind of get all over the place. Eventually there's no rhyme or reason to how they fall. Now, how did it get up to 8 inches? You saw me measure that at 7.5 inches. How did we get all the way up to 8? Well, I can remedy that really easy. I really don't want it that long. I'd rather put an extension chain on it than make it that long. So I'm going to take a loop off of each end. So I'm going to eliminate a loop here. And if you remember, this is very hard to open. Okay. Let's get the lobster clasp off of here. And to take this loop off, I'm just going to open it from the jump ring. And I think I'm going to take a loop off of this end, the other end as well, then open the jump ring and put it back on the end of the bracelet so that we can attach the lobster clasp to it. Now we are at 7.25, so I guess I could have left one ring on, but instead, I think I might find a little bit of chain instead of putting more of these rings back. Well, this is a little bit dark. I've got all kinds of chain here. I have this little extension chain I could put on here. I've decided instead of an extension chain, I'm going to add back one loop. I should have checked it before I took it off of this end. So I've got them open already. I'm just going to add one link back. This is when 2 pairs of flat nose pliers work out good. Oh, and it's stiff, and I'm like, it's kind of crossing over each other. I'm not making this up. This is really, really stiff to work with. All right, now let's put this little loop back, this little jump ring, I should say, a little jump ring back on. Okay, now let's check the size. I'm really, really close to my 7.5. It's more than a 7.25, and it's less than what I had before, and I'm good with this. I do want to make a pair of earrings to go with this, and I think I want to use these little crazy little rhinestone doodads thingies. So I need 2 of those. I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear a dove outside my window just cooing. All right, these are the earrings that I've made to go with the bracelet. Let's take a look at what I have left to work with. I have this part of the necklace. I have another tassel here, and I have a few pieces here. That's all I have left to work with, is right what you see here. Let's move some of this out of the way. I'm going to set one tassel aside. I'm actually thinking about using the original necklace and just keeping it pretty much like it is. Kind of lining these up and those and here. I do need to take it off. I do need to separate it right here. It's not going to be as long as it was originally, and that's okay. Close this up. And I want to add some more stones here, and I think I'll take them from this piece. It's funny how these are a little more white. And I think I'm going to take some of these little stones from here, chip stones, and add it here. But do you see those are kind of broken? Let's take those off of there and replace them. I think we can do better than those. Let's take this one here. Right here. Put this on, and we're going to use this tassel. Let's pull this back a little. We're going to use the tassel. However, I think I'm going to connect these before we add the tassel. So let's start with opening this up sideways as we've been doing. Do you see how it kind of curls up? And the other hole is just in the bottom of the loop. I'm going to put the top here. And these are reversible. There doesn't seem to be a real front or back to it that I can tell. Open this one up, again using the top of the swirl. See what we've got so far. I want to attach these to the tassel. I need 2 jump rings to do that. One here. I'm going to get a few of these out. I'm going to put it through the tassel and through a little swirl. And then I'm going to take this one, open it up, put this through the swirl and also through the tassel. I don't know if I should have an extra ring on the tassel by itself. I'm going to find out here. I'm going to take a look at this. Just going to pinch these a little bit. This one here is not aligned as well as I would like. Still trying to decide if I like it the way it is. I mean, if you're wearing it, it would look kind of like this. If I put a loop through there, the loop is going to go this way. So I really don't have anything to attach it to. I think I'm going to leave it like that. Now, I don't have a clasp on this yet, and I need a clasp. Gotta have a clasp. So I need to determine where it's going to go, and it looks like this little round brass filigree bead needs to go. That's what I'm seeing anyway. Let's attach a ring to one side. This necklace is reversible, so it doesn't really matter what side we put it on. It's completely reversible. And I have this left over from another necklace. I'm going to attach that so we can use it as an extension. I think that extension is a little bit longer than what it needs to be. I mean, right now the necklace, it's about 24 inches long. I think we can shorten this up. I just don't like the looks of it being that long. I think I'm going to allow it to be about 1 inch. Remove part of the chain. I took this part off, and I think I'm going to add a little crystal at the end. Close it up, give it a little pinch, and we have a crystal at the end of the extension chain. So now we have a necklace using the original tassel, adding some of the swirls to it, and the original beads. Shorter now than what it was for sure, and then a little crystal on the end of the extension chain. Let's make some earrings to go with this. This is all I have left, these pieces. So what do we want to make the earrings with? I only have one of this little coral rose, so that's not going to work. But I think I can use this other darker coral color. Take it off from the other end, open up the loop sideways. One down, try to find 2 there. We got that. Let's add the little brass bead. Got 2 of those. We're making a pair of earrings, so it's 2 of everything. Do I want the stone or do I want the crystal? I think I want the crystal. Again, it's just plastic, it's not glass. It's vintage. Most vintage jewelry, not all, but a lot of costume jewelry is just plastic. Let's get everything else aside that we're not using. And this is all that we have left from the original necklace. I could make a few more pairs of earrings with those. Put some ear wires. So what order do we want to put these in? Going with that one. Going with the clear crystal, just add that to the ear wire. Then the coral color, the dark coral. It's not really coral, but you know that by now. Okay. And let's add the brass bead. You can see that I've used the same method over and over in this video. The nice thing is we didn't have to make all of these loops. We didn't have to connect all of these beads. That was already done for us. So if you see necklaces like this, you might want to pick some up and try the same thing. See what else you can come up with. And I find it so relaxing. So if I'm a little mellow, as I said, yesterday was 4th of July, and just a little bit tired today, but overall I've accomplished a lot today, and this is very relaxing. Very, very relaxing. There you go. There's my earrings for it. There's the earrings to go with this necklace, which is predominantly the original necklace, only redesigned. Who would ever guess that we could take one $1 necklace, long necklace, yes it was, and make a bracelet with a pair of earrings, another bracelet, a beaded charm bracelet with a pair of earrings, and then a tassel necklace with a pair of earrings. And this, my friends, is all I have left. Oh yes, I do have a tassel here, but this is all I have left. I hope you enjoyed this video. Appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'm Vicki with Avante Jewelry, and I'll see you soon.